Afternoon.
Afternoon. Afternoon.
Hebu left. Even though niko sure si yako inatoa kelele ni yangu.
Good evening, everyone. Mary, can we just proceed as we wait other people to join in?
Iko loading.
Hello, Mary, are you there?
Mimi kuna kelele. Yes,
Yes, we can
Yes,
start.
yes, yes.
sijui hiyo kelele inatoka wapi. Sijui hiyo kelele inatoka wapi.
Mary, can you just basically just join in and do a brief introduction before we proceed? We are 18. I think we're 18 people in the meeting, and as people join, they'll just find us continuing for the sake of time.
Hey,
Mbona iko na mic inatoka? Oh, naona ina attract. Aiye.
hello, good evening, everybody. I hope you can hear me. Karibuni sana to our webinar tonight. This is our second session for the Mary Mulaya Career Lab webinar series, and we are glad to have our speakers in the room. We have Madam Achieng with us in the room, as well as Mr. Cyrus, who will be our speakers for tonight's meeting. I'll do a brief introduction about them, then we can start with our first speaker, Coach Achieng. Okay, Coach Achieng is a LinkedIn and visibility management expert who helps professionals build strong personal brands and become recognized authorities in their fields. She specialized in LinkedIn strategy, profile optimization, that leadership content, and audience growth. Through data-driven insights and strategic personal branding, she empowers individuals and organizations to increase their visibility and grow meaningful networks and unlock new professional opportunities. She is so passionate about ensuring that the professionals are visible and are able to have opportunities that they can turn into influence. So I would like us to introduce her with a round of applause as she gets into the meeting to give us her presentation. So Coach Achieng, I would like to have you at this point come in and share the insights you have in store for us tonight. With a round of applause, let's welcome Coach Achieng.
Thank you, Mary. Thank you, everyone. This is very exciting. Thank you for having me. It was an opportunity I could not pass. Like Mary has said, I am passionate. I am just passionate. I am those people who advocate for LinkedIn like no one before. I have worked with people who LinkedIn is boring. They've just signed up and they did nothing. They find it one of the most boring platforms. And I think it's because generally it's because people don't dance on LinkedIn. Yeah. People don't dance on LinkedIn. People don't speak on controversial matters. It's purely and cutthroat professionals. But once you build a mentality whereby you want to build your personal brand, you want to build your professional brand, you want to build your career, you have a goal on who you want to be, who you want to be seen as, and where you want to go, you start growing to love that platform. And if there's one thing I want to emphasize on, think global and not only local. Think of who can see your profile beside Kenyans, beside East Africans, beside Sub-Saharan Africa. And what would you want them to see? So yes, like Mary has said, I am a LinkedIn visibility and management expert. I introduced myself as that because I have specialized on LinkedIn as a product and as a brand, and I have worked with LinkedIn personally and closely, and I still do. So I do know how to go about it. Apart from LinkedIn optimization, I don't know if a lot of our participants know what LinkedIn optimization is. I believe people do. It is something that has grown over the years. The last 2-3 years, a wide majority of professionals now understand what LinkedIn optimization is. If you don't, feel free to just type in the chat. I can reiterate what it is. But above that, I want to go beyond the LinkedIn optimization. I want to go into who you're being seen as. Are you visible? Are you having relevant conversations on LinkedIn? Is your DM heavy? And are people approaching you, calling you, asking you for who you are and what value you're offering? Besides filling in all the relevant sections of LinkedIn, what are you communicating on LinkedIn? So I think this is Akot Cyprus. Akot Cyprus, I believe you're asking what LinkedIn optimization is, because that is what I've touched on. LinkedIn optimization is basically, in a layman's term, is filling all the necessary sections of LinkedIn and having your profile filled in every place. There's the headline, there is the about section, there is your work experience or your internship experience, there is your education section, and then there's the skills sections. There are other very important areas, including the courses. By courses, I not mean courses, not courses whereby you go and do a short course here and there, but courses. LinkedIn is a product that wants to know that you are somebody who works on other things rather than just your work. Do you volunteer? And what courses do you like? Are you the kind of person who likes working with children? Do you like working in food organizations, in the health sector and all that, right? So there are these other small areas or sections in the LinkedIn area that people actually take for granted. Majority of people take it for granted. As a recruiter myself, there is one section that I'm going to emphasize on, that I want to build visibility on, and that is the recommendations area. Not many people have that section filled out, including Mary. And if you have recommendations, it's not more than 3. So there's no limit on that area whereby you can have recommendations. It's limitless. You can have hundreds of recommendations. You, as an adult, you have come across so many people. You come across maybe your lecturers, your classmates, even people even in such areas like a webinar. You've done maybe some small interactions here and there. Have people write you recommendations on LinkedIn. You yourself, if you have connections more than 500, I don't see why you should not write a recommendation for somebody else. Right? It goes both ways. There is the receiving recommendation, there is the giving recommendation. So basically what LinkedIn optimization is, having all areas of LinkedIn filled out, and having the SEO or the search engine optimization of LinkedIn recognize that your profile is fully filled in with information. You are 360%. There is the education space, there is the license and certifications, there's your work experience, there is a brief bio which you write at the about section. There is the headline. The headline is that small section just under your name, right? There's a featured section. That is another area that a lot of people neglect. Maybe they just don't know how to do it, but featured is a very important tool on LinkedIn whereby you highlight your achievements. If you've been in the press, if you write posts that have really gone viral, if you've done projects that are really, really good, there's impact, you put them in the featured section. The other area whereby is also important when you're doing your LinkedIn optimization is the background. Apart from your profile picture, there is the image that is behind your photo. And as much as LinkedIn has given a few suggestions of images that we can put in the background, I do emphasize that we go a step further and actually customize the background into who we are and what value we offer. All right. So let's talk about LinkedIn visibility and management. Like I said briefly, it is more than the optimization, right? So what are we doing after you optimize your profile? We don't want your profile to be stagnant. We just don't want your profile to be there. We have more than 3 million people who have subscribed on LinkedIn. The purpose of LinkedIn is professional. Are you getting jobs? Are you being approached? Are you being headhunted? Are you getting business calls or business pitches? Are you getting introductions into board memberships? Are you being called to speaking engagements? Are you being approached for webinars such like this? Because I think, Mary, you found me on LinkedIn then, right? So is your profile putting you in a space whereby people are recognizing who you are, what value you're offering, and are they giving you the opportunity to engage more than your 9 to 5? That is the basis of an active LinkedIn, purely visibility. As much as we look for jobs and we are going online to look for jobs, send CVs out, looking for opportunities, we want your profile to do that as well for you. All right? So it should work both ways. Right? So I have a question before we proceed. The advertisement for this webinar was predominantly for HR students, HR professionals. Maybe in the chat, are we all in HR? Are we a mixed group? Are there people who are working in other departments? Maybe you can just mention what department you work in, because I think it's going to be very important for us to proceed so that whatever information, I don't want to go into recruitment, I don't want to go into culture, people, management, and it is not relevant to the audience. So if you're not in HR, maybe you can just mention in the chat who you are, what you do, and you can add a little bit of there why you felt like this webinar would be important for you. Okay, I can see one person has mentioned, I'm a HR manager. Amazing. That's excellent. Anyone else would like to chip in? All right. Okay. So as we are continuing, I would like to discuss a visibility problem that not very many people talk about. All right. So this visibility problem, and I've noticed it in HR, a lot of HR profiles are not completely done. So this is the thing. when you put out a job advertisement, accountant, data analyst, amazing. I like seeing people who are in a different space, an accountant, okay, HR student, amazing. Okay, so let me continue. The HR space is very wide. As you, especially the students, as you grow, you will come to realize what about HR specifically you enjoy. I enjoy recruitment. I enjoy talent acquisition. I enjoy searching, headhunting. That is my specialty. That is what I do most, and I've done for 10 plus years before I even got into LinkedIn. And while I was recruiting and while I was headhunting, I was doing it on LinkedIn and the other platforms as well. I have a very wide network whereby we do our recruiting, myself and my business partner. But when we went into LinkedIn, oh my God, we would find, allow me to use this word, but pathetic profiles. All right. So let me give you a secret if you don't know this. Even as a student, recruiters, when they receive your CV, or the ATS, when the ATS is reading your CV, tell me if you understand what an ATS is or what it's not. I'll go into that. When it's reading your CV, it reads your LinkedIn. The ATS is an AI tool. It has been programmed to read and find information of who you are online beside the CV. All right. So if there's very minimal information online on your LinkedIn and you have put your LinkedIn link on your CV, it works against you. Nowadays, once you, on your CV, when you write your name, we don't even write post office nowadays, unless the job advertisement requires it. But now the three most important things that you need to write just under your name on your CV is your email address, your telephone number, and a link to your LinkedIn. It is that's vital right now. Okay. So if a recruiter is to receive your CV and they don't find a link to your LinkedIn, that's a red flag. If the ATS does not find a link to your LinkedIn on your CV when they receive your application, that is a red flag, right? Now, again, if you've put your link on your CV and now the AI or even I, the recruiter, have received your CV and I click on the link on your CV and it takes me to a very pathetic profile, that is a red flag. It's almost second nature nowadays for recruiters to go to your LinkedIn. It's non-negotiable, right? So it should be one of the reasons why probably you don't get a call back. Number two, the exaggeration on LinkedIn. Wow. It's very important to be absolutely honest. We have recruited most of the best talent who are people who don't even have master's degree or bachelor's degree or something, but they did courses or they did certifications, and they end up being the best of the best talents. So there's this wave of exaggeration or some serious vocabulary so that you are seen as someone who is big or important. I would want to reassure everyone on this webinar, be as honest as possible. Recruiters know and give opportunities to the most authentic people out there. We can tell. A lot of people can tell that whatever you're putting, the content you're writing, your headline, your about section is exaggerated. And this is usually, I advocate for AI. I 100% advocate for AI. I use AI in recruitment. It's very important. Like you say, we use the ATS for recruitment. However, try as much as possible to personalize your LinkedIn profile. Do not proclaim you're a specialist if you're not. Do not proclaim yourself an expert if you still, because those ones need time and exposure and experience, right? Be as honest as possible. If you're a student, say you're a student, all right? Because now what you're programming your search engine is that you want to be seen as an expert, but once you are approached for expert jobs or specialist jobs, you fall short. Now, what happens again, the space of HR, we stay aware, we remain aware, we talk, right? We exchange, we note down, we are in groups, we are business groups whereby we exchange talent, we headhunt from our fellow recruiters out here. So be as authentic as possible on your LinkedIn profile. For the students, it might require some experience, 1, 2, 3 years. Be very patient with your career. It takes time. For me, it took time, right? It took 15 years, 10 years, 5 years to build a career. Be patient with yourself. Be patient with your background, okay? Right? Do not proclaim that you can if you can't, or if you haven't had that experience. If you're a manager, because I saw somebody here was, he said he's a HR manager. If you're to have a conversation with him, you will hear he has built his career. He has spent time on his career. He's exposed himself to different companies, different networks, for him to get the manager job title, right? Let's be very authentic on our LinkedIn profiles. Let's be authentic in our CVs. With time, you get the job that you want. If you want it locally, regionally, globally, you will be recognized. Every job has built his career. He has spent time on his career. He's exposed himself to different companies, different networks, for him to get the manager job title. AI. Right? So let's be very authentic on our LinkedIn profile. Let's be authentic in our CV. With time, you get the job that you want. If you want it locally, regionally, globally, you will be recognized. Every job has built his career. He has spent time on his career. He's exposed himself to different companies, different networks, for him to get the manager job title. AI. Right? So let's be very authentic on our LinkedIn profile. Let's be authentic in our CV. Every time you get a job that you want, if you want it locally, regionally, globally, you will be recognized. Every job has built his career. He has spent time on his career. He's exposed himself to different companies, different networks, for him to get the manager job title. AI. Right? So let's be very authentic on our LinkedIn profile. Let's be authentic in our CV. Every time you get a job that you want, if you want it locally, regionally, globally, you will be recognized. Every job has built his career. He has spent time on his career. He's exposed himself to different companies, different networks, for him to get the manager job title. AI. Right? So let's be very authentic on our LinkedIn profile. Let's be authentic in our CV. Every time you get a job that you want, if you want it locally, regionally, globally, you will be recognized. Every job has built his career. He has spent time on his career. He's exposed himself to different companies, different networks, for him to get the manager job title. AI. Right? So let's be very authentic on our LinkedIn profile. Let's be authentic in our CV. Every time you get a job that you want, if you want it locally, regionally, globally, you will be recognized. Every job has built his career. He has spent time on his career. He's exposed himself to different companies, different networks, for him to get the manager job title. AI. Right? So let's be very authentic on our LinkedIn profile. Let's be authentic in our CV. Every time you get a job that you want, if you want it locally, regionally, globally, you will be recognized. Every job has built his career. Identify what you do. make sure you highlight that. Do it in a week, all right? Or and I would identify what you should do. The minimum, make sure you highlight that. Do it in a week, all right? Come 2 days in a week, Thursday and Tuesday, if you can, and if you have the time, post every day. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, post every day. Make sure you highlight that. And do it in a week, all right? 2 days in a week, Thursday and Tuesday. So if you can, best topic to, and if you have the time, post every day. Statistics say in the last one, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, post every day. Make sure you highlight that. And do it in a week, all right? 2 days in a week, Thursday and Tuesday. So if you can, best topic to, and if you have the time, post every day. Statistics say in the last one, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, post every day. Make sure you highlight that. Not a favorite department in a lot of organizations. So employers think HR is so much for the employees. Employees think HR works for the employer. So we are really loved by everyone in companies, right? So you can post about your day-to-day experience, your day-to-day, what you learn, even as students, what are you learning, what in this semester? Give us some insight, I bet your syllabus is not as it was for me, yeah? Give me some knowledge. There's something that you can post that will actually help you become a specialist and the expert that you wish to be, but do not leave your profile blank or stagnant. Now, finally, I want to mention about the reposting. There's a reposting when people don't know what to post. They find it easier to repost every day. It's easier for you to go on LinkedIn when you go to the homepage and then you see content that you think people will like, and then you just keep reposting. So when I go to your profile, I see reposting without really knowing who you are. When it comes to recruitment, we want to hear your voice. All right? We want to know what matters to you. In an interviews, people prepare. When I go on LinkedIn, I see what you enjoy, what part of HR means so much. The accountant, I saw there was an accountant and a data analyst. Talk about your job. To be very honest, I don't know much about data analysis unless I am recruiting for one. Give me some insight about your day to day, or even current affairs from what you've noticed about data. I want to hear your voice. You see, a CV is very cutthroat. A CV is a document that, and now with AI, we see the same kind of CVs over and over. We see the same kind of cover letters over and over. LinkedIn is one of the places where I get to know who you are and why I should hire you. Okay, so if it is where you keep reposting posts, so that is the voice of somebody else. Trust me, you're taking this recruiter to that other person. The recruiter is not going to stay on your profile. Let us hear your voice, all right? Even if you think that it might not be important, trust you me, it will be important. Give it time, give your profile time, give yourself time to grow in your career, okay? I can see I'm going to the questions area. Dennis Odera, you asked, could you please talk about the LinkedIn verification part? What about it? I know I can recognize that the LinkedIn verification is quite a problem. Number one, LinkedIn is an American product or a westernized product. So when they put the verification, they kind of optimize it for the American market. Now, why the verification asks for your ID and their AI tool and their search engine, the SEO recognizes American IDs. So their driving license is different from ours. Their national ID is different from ours. Their passport is different from ours. So two things. LinkedIn, once you get to the area whereby you need to put in your ID, it becomes a problem. You're almost guaranteed that you might lose your profile if you have to use your ID. LinkedIn verification works and works very well when you work or you are in maybe institution that is globally recognized or American recognized. If you go now on LinkedIn, you'll find there are few people who had it easy when they were verifying it. And I will speak on behalf of my clients, especially in the banking sector, people who are working for institutions because what happens is LinkedIn will ask for their work email. Let's say, for example, let me give you an example of StanChart. If an individual is working for StanChart, at some point LinkedIn will be like, when you're optimizing, it will bring a pop-up saying, we would like to verify your profile. Can you provide for us your work email? So once you put the work email, they send the 6-digit code to the work email. The verification is that, literally like 10 seconds. There's this other group of people whereby now LinkedIn keeps popping up that you need to verify 30% of people have increased because you need to verify. Input your ID. Now it becomes a problem. I would advocate that you do not use your ID for verification. Why? You will lose your profile. Number two, because our passport is not like the American passport, our IDs are not like them. So once you try to take a photo of your local documents, LinkedIn will say you're probably trying to forge and system. So I've had quite a number of people who have lost their profiles and had to start over again. So when it comes to verification, I would ask you to be very, very careful about it. I myself have not verified my profile. If you were to go to my profile, and believe you me, I've worked with LinkedIn for close to 10 years. I have not verified my profile. And that is because I'm very scared that, you never know with them. You're not guaranteed that your profile will be successfully verified. Okay? I did a post about LinkedIn verification, I think a month ago. If you were to go to my profile, you'll see I did a post about how difficult it is. I currently collaborate with LinkedIn personally when it comes to my clients who have an issue with LinkedIn. So if you would want some help with your LinkedIn, please let me know. I'll let Mary maybe share my email address, and you can go on LinkedIn, you'll find me, right? So I can collaborate with you and LinkedIn to help you verify. However, be very careful with your verification process. All right. If they ask for your work email, it might be easier. But if they have to ask you for your ID, I would ask you to be very, very cautious and be patient and give them time, because they are aware that globally, especially Africa, we cannot verify because our documents are different. So it's something they're working on. All right, so give it some time. Be patient. It is not a must that you must verify your profile. It is not a must. It will not hinder you from getting opportunities. All right. Yeah. So be very, very careful with your LinkedIn verification. Do we have any other questions? All right, so let me just give my final insight. I'll just take less than 5 minutes. We have a second speaker who's coming in with his insight, so I would really want you guys to hear from him. I personally am eager to hear from him, but I also want to mention something about LinkedIn visibility. I am very sure a majority of us are here, and we are aware that there are people, including Mary herself, that can help you with your optimization. I want to reassure you that it just doesn't stop there. The optimization is fantastic. It makes sure your LinkedIn profile goes further. So 2 things that you need to do is make sure your visibility is up to par. And number 2, if you can afford it. If you can afford it, I advocate for premium. Premium is excellent. There's a very small group of people who are in premium, and it really takes your profile to the next step. $30 is quite an investment. If you can't do it, take advantage of the free. I think they have a free month for everyone. So always take advantage of that. And once you take up that free month, every 12 months, they give you another free 30 days. So I advocate for premium. Always do that. If you have the budget, pay for it. It increases the more you proclaim that you're an expert or a specialist. LinkedIn will always increase that budget. For some of us, we pay $100. So yeah, again, let's be very truthful and authentic on LinkedIn. It also helps you build your brand and also expose you in the right spaces. So with that, maybe I can finish. And then if you have questions for me, feel free to engage on the chat section. And maybe at the end, we can have a Q&A. So Mary, I think that's it for me.
Thank you so much, Ma. At this point, I'd like to invite our second speaker for the night, Mr. Silas Odhiambo. Just read out his bio. Mr. Cyrus is a senior recruiter and LinkedIn growth strategist, career and media coach, and employee trainer with over 6 years of experience helping professionals become visible, credible, and in demand. As the lead recruiter at Alcasi Careers Consulting, he specializes in LinkedIn optimization, personal branding, career coaching, talent acquisition, and job search strategy. He has helped hundreds of students and professionals strengthen their professional presence and unlock career opportunities. And his tagline is helping professionals and brands become visible, credible, and in demand. At this point, I'd like to invite Mr. Cyrus on board so that he can give us his insights on how we can build good brands out there and be credible. Mr. Silas, if you're with us in the room, kindly, that point.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Mary and Ryan. Also, thank you, Coach Achien, that wonderful first session. Tell us testimonies also. Learning doesn't stop. Learning is continuous. What we did was also perhaps getting a few insights here and there. Just trying to get my screen online. When I present a few, present something. Just a second. Present this. Right. So this will be this. Alright. Alright. Maybe Kuchichi can come on board for a few seconds as I get this ready. Please. Just come back on board. Thank you.
Yeah, sure. No problem. I'd like to address a question I've seen at the messages. Is it Louis? Is it Louis or Louis or Machar? You've talked about content to post. Can someone who's currently still in school pursuing HR post about his or her business or side hustle? Yes, I would say yes. This is the thing. First of all, in your work experience, I would like you to add your business or your side hustle. However, be very, very strategic about it. Give yourself a job title. All right? This means you're in HR, as much as you're studying HR, you've identified what part of HR you enjoy, number one. Number two, you have strengths in. And then number three, you are probably going to apply jobs in that area. So let's give it an example. Maybe you enjoy recruitment. All right. So you'll write recruitment manager, and then in the company, write the name of your business. No one needs to know that it is your business. Let it look like you're an employee, of which it is true. You're an employee. You're an employee yourself, right? So write recruitment manager, A and B clothing, and then write a description of what you do absolutely every day. This means you're not exaggerated. You're not like, this is actually what you do, right? So you're not telling the whole world that it is your side hustle. You're just giving, giving a description of your work experience or your professional experience. So yes, you can post that on LinkedIn in your work experience section. Be very strategic and professional about it. Give yourself a job title, name the business. In the description area, maybe do in a paragraph of what you do every day, right? And then add some skills there. If it's operations, if it's relationship building, all that. Yes. And then again, when it comes to posts, write your experiences. Like I mentioned, you're limited. You can do posts on Tuesdays and on Thursdays, right? Write what you're experiencing every day. Write what you're learning in your HR. You're posting truthful content and what you're learning. So yes, Louis, I like your question and I agree 100%. Silas, are you ready?
Thank you so much. I'm ready.
All right, go ahead.
Now, maybe just a quick one to add a few to what we are learning, and then we can take the questions. I want to agree with the coach that by all means possible, you need to be on LinkedIn, and not just being on LinkedIn, you need to be visible. And almost all of us are on LinkedIn. It's very common to bump into a profile, and this is something that I come across severally. Meet a profile that is empty completely. The only thing there is the name. Some people even using one name. Somebody told them, "Are you on LinkedIn?" They set up the name and then they vanished. They came back later. And I believe at the end of this, some of us will resume our LinkedIn and build them so that you can be visible. So visibility is everything. You don't just have an account, but you be visible. And just to add something, we are in a totally different era. Things are shifting very fast. Where we are today, with the current AI and innovations and innovations coming up, will be completely different from where we'll be in the next 1 year or 2 years. If I was told in my days at campus as a student, actually, no. If I was told that we are going to using AI to make CVs, we're using AI also to crawl your social media profile to search who you are, I would believe that. And things are really taking shape very fast, very, very fast. And now, initially we would walk into an office, and that still happens until today. You wake up in the morning, you have a list of, I want to, if you're now that you're a HR, I want to target Aga Khan Hospital, I want to target APMG, I want to target these companies. Just walk in and you talk to the receptionist. Hello, receptionist, I'm looking for this job, blah, 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 blah. And then you drop your CV. And then you wait for somebody to call you. When you look at the news cuts on newspapers, they still happen today, but if you're very keen, most companies are rarely advertising jobs on newspapers. Not as they used to do before. With the current advent in other social media platforms like TikTok, LinkedIn also is picking up. More and more Kenyans are on LinkedIn today. Currently, more than 10 million on LinkedIn. 5 years ago, it was around 3 million. So people are really exploring other avenues to get jobs. People used to send just CV, just drop a CV only. And things have really changed. Coach said, you don't need an address, you don't need a PO box and so many other personal details on your CV. There's something we can't explore now, but just to highlight on that. Things have really shifted nowadays. People are just dropping a CV with their names, email, and then you send an email. We are in a modern era. From the comfort of your room, for students who are on long holidays, from your home, you just look for a company. Okay, I want to join this company for my attachment. I want to join Kiwasco or whichever company you want to join. And you search for that company online. During the same way you are looking for the company online also, recruiters are searching for you online. They are crawling your digital identity. Okay, so this is Joseph Kimani looking for this job. Who is Joseph? The first place they visit is Google. They want to know who is this person. And then they search for your name on Google search. LinkedIn is so powerful index on Google that once you create your profile and become available online for the next 1 month or so, the search engine takes your details and places you at the top. If you don't have any other social media platform that you are active on, you are on LinkedIn only. You set up your profile, everything is done, and you go away. A month from today, you are ranked number 1 in terms of who you are online. If I search Joseph Kimani, the first that pops up at the top is Joseph Kimani, LinkedIn, blah, 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 your details. And then AI also crawls who you are. AI looks at your profile online. It looks at your identity. Then when I search for who you are, AI tells me so and so is an emerging HR professional, kind of listening and blah, blah, blah. The reason being, you are visible on LinkedIn. So basically, LinkedIn is your digital footprint. Who you are. Who are you? And I know about you without engaging you first. Because in as much as I give you the job, I first need to know who you are. And LinkedIn is the first professional platform. Actually, rarely will you find people dancing on LinkedIn. Well, some are popping up today. As Coach said, many are taking advantage of TikTok and other platforms. LinkedIn is for professionals. And actually, for those who coach football, most of these coaches are on LinkedIn. The other day I was seeing a trending story of Cape Verde goalkeeper who made headlines at the World Cup. His colleague in the football team was contacted on LinkedIn by the coach. The coach sent the first message. The guy assumed because it was in Portuguese. This might be a scam online. Then the second message translated in English. This is when this guy realized he's being contacted for a job. The coach is looking for him to bring on board the team. Imagine there were 4 different profiles, but the coach picked the right one. The reason, he was visible. When you're visible, you position yourself for opportunities. I know we'll also talk about that in 1 or 2 minutes. Yes, so basically, your visibility today shapes who you will be tomorrow. Be visible today, fix your tomorrow. Be visible today, position yourself for opportunities that will come up tomorrow. The work you invest today in your studies, for those who are still in school, the work you're investing in your job for those who have companies, is not just to yield returns today, but to also position you for tomorrow. Yeah, that's visibility in a nutshell. It creates the opportunities for tomorrow. And think about this. This ran into my mind when I was just going through what we had to look at this evening. 2 petrol stations set up. Person A sets up his petrol station along Thika Road, maybe somewhere around Survey or Garden City. Then person B sets up his petrol station down in the village. You get down to Kilijanga, Kulachini, in the village, actually in a remote area that rarely cars access, only people who walk or farmers or so and so. Literally, at the end of the day, person A will be raking in so much profit compared to person B. The reason being, he positioned his petrol station next to the road. Why? To be visible. His target was to be seen. When the motorists pass by, actually when I drive past KU, it comes into my mind, okay, there is a petrol station at car wash. I'm not thinking about that petrol station in the village. I will not. There is a petrol station next to Garden City. And so what do I do? Let me get there and fuel a bit and proceed my journey. So basically, positioning yourself, being available, makes you visible for clients and for opportunities. And basically your profile is your storefront, your profile, who you are. That LinkedIn account that you set up a few days ago or a few months ago, that is who you are. You are attracting recruiters, you are attracting opportunities for those who are going to be into business as a chart. You are attracting clients, and after clients, for those who are the next LinkedIn coaches, like Coach Achille, you are attracting clients after clients by just being visible. So basically, visibility positions you, as I said, for opportunities. This is something we can't ignore in the current era of digital social media and what have you. And maybe just to also highlight something, LinkedIn is topping among the most used social media platforms by students in the United States. I am a career coach and I talk to students almost daily on LinkedIn. A number of them, most of them reach out to me on LinkedIn because I am on LinkedIn daily. I ensure I am on LinkedIn every morning. I do a post for 5 days in a week. Coach Ching said at least do 3 posts, and I want to agree also. Be available. Okay, you are on LinkedIn beyond just having an account. What are you saying? I talk about career. I'm a faith-based coach. I post daily on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. I don't post on Saturday. I don't post on Sunday. Completely. If I do on Saturday, then maybe there's a trending story in the social media that perhaps captivates me to talk about. But I don't go on weekends. at least each day. And by posting, I get reactions. I get people reaching out. I saw your post. I bumped into your timeline. I saw you talking about this is me or blah blah blah. So basically, LinkedIn positions to be discovered by people. To be discovered by people. When I posted the other day, I posted online, and somebody came to my idea. Thank you for sharing about the experience of your client. This is actually what I'm also going through. And we talked for a few minutes, and she was asking, okay, now that I'm looking for internship, which companies can you recommend in my industry? She's in the tech industry, did a diploma to Moringa. And we had a chat. By just being available, by posting and by engaging, she's on a trajectory to landing internships and opportunities. Yeah, so basically when you position yourself on LinkedIn, you are increasing your chances of getting the right network. Also, I'll highlight on that maybe at the end as I wind up. Also, LinkedIn allows you to connect with mentors. People can propel your success to the next level. In as much as you are doing the right thing, you are in school, you are emerging HR, you are rising in your career. There is always still room to learn from somebody else. That good thing they're doing today, somebody has done much better than that. And this is always my motivation anytime I get to LinkedIn and I see profiles of people doing much better than me. That whatever I'm doing today on LinkedIn, there are so many who are doing much better than what I am doing. So I have to learn with them. I have to connect with them. Connecting with the right people also. I have to connect with. Who do I connect with? As a recruiter, I'm a media recruiter. I'm also a career coach. Who do I connect with? Who are in the media space? Who are coaching in the media? Who are consultants in my industry do I connect with? And as an emerging HR, who is the current president of University of Nairobi for HRs, or who is the current organizing from the organizing sec for HR organization at maybe KU or Chuka or whatever campus you are in? Who should I connect with? The first circle are people who are doing even much better than what you're doing. Look at those who have positioned their brands. If we sample 10 of us now and have a quick look at our profiles, it will be very easy to rank us. The people who have positioned themselves on LinkedIn, complete profile, and we look at that also. And then they have gone an extra mile to connect with people. So basically, LinkedIn allows you to use your LinkedIn, but you can also connect with the right personnel and right mentors. You are visible and then you are consistent. You connect with the right people and then you engage them daily. Some of us just, you send a connection, break post, and the following day you are asking for